The story of the Titanic is not only a tragedy, but also a reflection of an era of unimaginable luxury. On board this floating palace, life in the first class resembled a scene from a fairy tale, with its glittering chandeliers, the sound of an orchestra, and the aroma of exquisite cuisine. The food here was not just a meal, but a symbol of status, sophistication, and art. Each dish was the result of the best chefs of the time, striving to create a taste worthy of legend. But beneath the glamour of porcelain and silver, there was a fragile world that would soon disappear forever. Today, we will once again dive into that distant time to revive forgotten flavors and touch upon the lost luxury of the Titanic. Welcome to 25 incredible, forgotten dishes from the Titanic's first-class menu. Potted Germany is not just a soup. It is a velvety poem, woven of tenderness and refinement. In the first class of the Titanic, it was served in delicate porcelain, where the light of the lamps reflected like the surface of a calm sea. The color is like the morning mist over the English Channel, and the taste is mild, with a subtle aroma of chicken broth and a hint of nutmeg. The chefs achieved the perfect texture, no roughness, only silky smoothness. Thin threads of whipped egg white lay on the surface like a cloud, almost invisible but completing the culinary symphony. This dish was not just a meal, it became a symbol of exquisite peace, a last moment of a world that would soon be lost to legend. Consommé Olga is a crystal-clear soup made from light and patience. Its color is pure gold, and its aroma is a whisper of game and herbs carried by the wind from distant meadows. Each piece of carrot and green pea is like a precious gem drowned in the amber depths. To achieve perfect clarity, the chefs had to strain the broth over and over again until it became a mirror of flavor. This soup was named after Grand Duchess Olga, a symbol of elegance and refinement, as if her very soul was reflected in this golden bowl. Consommé Olga did not just satisfy hunger, it cleansed the senses, preparing the palate for new discoveries. It was the first chord of a gastronomic symphony, a promise of sophistication and the beginning of a journey into a world where taste became art. On an icy bed, sparkling like crystal, they rest, the oysters. The treasures of the ocean, hidden within their mother-of-pearl shells. Their aroma is the breath of the sea, pure and vast. Each shell holds a piece of the element, the freshness of the surf, and the mystery of the depths. When you open one, you will see the delicate flesh, pearly and moist, like a kiss from the ocean. The first bite will reveal the taste of freedom, adventure, and sea salt. These oysters were delivered to the Titanic with great care, for freshness is their soul. For the nobility, they were a symbol of luxury and desire, for the gourmets, a moment of perfection. On the deck, amidst the sounds of the orchestra and the glimmer of crystal, the oysters were the beginning of a grand feast, the taste of the ocean itself, captured in a moment of eternity. Salmon en aspic was a luxury on the first-class plate of the Titanic. The boiled salmon with mousse sauce and fresh cucumbers was served in a cold aspic, like a transparent frame that highlighted the color of the sea depths. The gelatinous texture made the dish beautiful and intriguing, with each bite melting in the mouth, revealing the delicate salmon, creamy sauce, and fresh cucumber. The presentation required skill, the aspic had to remain intact, the sauce had to be perfect, and the composition had to be impressive. The dish symbolized the status, refined taste, and culinary art of the era. Foie gras is a true symbol of luxury and exquisite taste on the first-class plate of the Titanic. Thin slices of duck or goose pâté were served with light side dishes and crispy toast, creating a harmony of textures. The delicate, buttery structure of the foie gras contrasted with the density of the bread. Each bite melted in the mouth, revealing a rich flavor and aroma, highlighting the skill of the chefs and the elegance of the presentation. This dish was not just a meal, but a work of art, a symbol of the status and refined taste of an era when every meal was carefully crafted. The presentation required attention to detail, as the temperature and texture of the pâté had to be perfect to impress guests and set the stage for the next gastronomic symphony. Foie gras paved the way for a journey of complex and intense flavors, representing the epitome of first-class dining on the Titanic. Potted parmentier is a classic cream soup made from potatoes and leeks, which has become a symbol of cozy French cuisine and a must-have on the first-class menu of the Titanic. The soup, which is cooked until it reaches a perfectly soft consistency, is then passed through a sieve to become almost silky, and each sip is warm and comforting. The color of the soup is a soft, milky creamy shade with a slight green tint from the leeks, and the delicate aroma of butter and fresh parsley completes the dish. The presentation requires precision. The soup flowed in a steady stream into delicate porcelain bowls, adorned with a drop of fried butter or a sprig of herbs. In the first class, it was not just a soup, it was a comfortable yet aristocratic introduction to a rich meal, where the simplicity of the ingredients was transformed into a premium experience through the skill of the kitchen. Asparagus soup. This dish is a tribute to spring, encapsulated in a silky, delicate green surface. It is made from young, tender asparagus shoots, boiled until perfectly soft, and then blended into a smooth puree with butter and cream. The color of the soup is pure and fresh, like young grass after a rain. It is sometimes garnished with small croutons or a drizzle of thick cream, creating a pattern. It was a light yet luxurious choice that perfectly refreshed the appetite without overloading it. Asparagus soup was a symbol of refinement and care for guests, emphasizing that even simplicity could be elevated to the level of high art. And now, forget about the storms beyond the horizon. Introducing the cream of barley soup, the epitome of home comfort in the middle of the ocean. Thick, rich, this soup was made from pearl barley, slowly simmered in fresh milk or thick cream to achieve a creamy tenderness. Add roots, a little carrot and celery to enhance the taste. This soup is the epitome of simplicity and fullness. It warmed the body and soul, reminding of the hearth, far beyond the horizon. Fried flounder, or sea tongue, was the very freshness of the Atlantic on your plate. It was a dish that required the skill of a master chef. The fish, caught just hours before serving, was carefully prepared, leaving only the thinnest, most delicate fillet. It was fried in pure ghee until it had a perfect golden crust that would break at the first touch of a fork. The seasonings were used sparingly, just a pinch of sea salt, freshly ground pepper, and, of course, a slice of lemon served separately so that the guest could adjust the acidity to their liking. This was a dish for true connoisseurs who preferred the pure taste of the sea, served with impeccable first-class elegance. And now, gentlemen, the pinnacle of the meat course, a true symbol of luxury, the stuffed pigeon with foie gras. This is not just a bird, but a work of art, the epitome of culinary mastery. The young pigeon, selected according to the strictest criteria, was carefully butchered to preserve its delicate shape. It was then stuffed with a rich mixture of the most tender foie gras, carefully selected black truffles, and a flavorful mince made from white bread soaked in cream. The pigeon was baked over low heat until it was perfectly cooked, with a stunning golden crust that exuded a delightful aroma. It was served with a thick, rich demi-glace sauce, made with evaporated beef broth, and garnished with seasonal fruits such as figs or grapes. This dish was not just a meal, it was a statement of status, sophistication, and impeccable taste. Every bite was a true gastronomic delight. Sirloin of beef forstaya, an exquisite beef tenderloin, cooked with mushroom sauce and herbs, became a symbol of the wealth and taste of the first class on the Titanic. The meat was perfectly roasted, a golden crust on the outside, a juicy rich center inside. Each piece revealed the aroma of wild mushrooms, creamy sauce and fresh herbs, creating a multi-layered taste sensation. The presentation required skill, the plate had to look flawless, the sauce carefully surrounding the meat, and the side dishes emphasizing the composition. It was not just a dish, it was a sign of prestige, an artistic approach to cooking, where every element demonstrated respect for the guests and the traditions of the golden age of navigation. So, let me introduce you to the halibut fillet with muslin sauce. This is not just any fish, but a true treasure of the ocean, presented with all the elegance of haute cuisine. The fillet of select halibut, known for its juicy yet firm texture, was prepared with utmost care, slowly simmered in a flavorful fish broth infused with white wine and herbs to preserve its tenderness and aroma. However, the true magic lay in the muslin sauce. This is a delicate, airy emulsion based on the classic Dutch sauce, but whipped to an incredible lightness with the addition of the freshest whipped cream. The sauce was so airy that it seemed to melt on the tongue like sea foam. The chef's skill was in the perfect balance between the firm, flavorful fillet and the weightless, enveloping sauce. The halibut fillet with muslin sauce is a symbol of a first-class fish course that is worthy of the most discerning gourmet. To refresh the palate after a hearty pigeon, a cold asparagus salad with a champagne and saffron vinaigrette was served. The delicate, blanched asparagus shoots, cut into elegant slices, were combined with a light sauce. The vinaigrette was based on champagne, which gave the salad a subtle acidity, combined with the exquisite aroma of saffron, adding a touch of exoticism. Small, crisp lettuce leaves and a few drops of olive oil completed the dish. This salad was the epitome of elegance and lightness, setting the stage for the following dishes. Oysters Rockefeller was a luxurious first-class dish on the Titanic, where the oysters were baked with a green herb mixture and crispy breading, preserving the freshness of the seafood. Each oyster was carefully arranged on an ice tray, garnished with vibrant herbs and lemon slices. The baked surface had a golden brown hue, while the interior remained juicy and tender. The dish combined texture, flavor, and visual appeal, creating a sense of luxury and sophistication. The presentation required skill, each oyster was flawlessly presented, and the arrangement on the table showcased the high level of culinary art on board the Titanic. It was more than just food, it was a ritual of taste and aesthetics, a symbol of status, sophistication, and the gastronomic perfection of the era. Introducing roasted young pigeon with watercress. This dish, unlike its stuffed counterpart, highlights the pure, wild nature of the bird. The pigeon was roasted whole until it had a rich, crispy crust, and its juices dripped into the bottom of the pan, creating a natural, concentrated sauce. We kept it simple, using only salt, pepper, and aromatic herbs like thyme and rosemary. The perfect accompaniment was watercress, a sharp, slightly bitter green garnish that cut through the fattiness of the meat, providing a perfect balance. It was the choice of those who appreciate the traditional, strong taste of game, served with the dignity of kings. The presentation was simple yet impeccable, the bird on a large silver platter, surrounded by fresh, invigorating cress. After the refreshing punch, it was time for a sophisticated yet light meat dish, roasted quail with cress and grapes. The tender quail, marinated in herbs and olive oil, was fried until golden brown and served with a harmonious combination of tart, watery cress and sweet, juicy grapes. This combination created a striking contrast in taste, setting the stage for the desserts. It was a light yet memorable touch before the finale. Peaches in chartreuse jelly was one of the most enchanting desserts served in the first class of the Titanic. On crystal plates, translucent domes of jelly shimmered, colored in a shade of green glass thanks to the chartreuse liqueur, which gave the dessert a delicate aroma of herbs and sweet spices. Inside, like trapped in amber, were delicate peach halves, glowing with a golden light under the soft illumination of the cabin. Each piece melted on the tongue, blending the taste of fruity freshness with the mysterious note of liqueur created by monks in the 17th century. This dessert was a testament to contrast, cool and airy, yet luxurious and warm in texture, like a farewell to an era. As the ship sailed across the silent ocean that evening, peaches in chartreuse jelly became more than just a sweet treat, it became a symbol of the last celebration of life, sophistication, and fleeting beauty. Punch Roman, magic in an icy glass. This drink was not just a break between courses, but a spectacular event designed to cleanse and invigorate the taste buds. The secret lay in the combination of several types of sorbet, lemon, lime, and orange, with the addition of French champagne and top-quality rum. Before serving, a whipped egg white was added to the glass, creating an airy, sparkling cap. This drink was a true symbol of luxury and sophistication, and its preparation was a form of art in itself. It is said that it was prepared directly at the passenger's table, creating a mini performance. French ice cream is not just a dessert, but a symbol of sophistication, grace, and the sweet end of an era. On board the Titanic, it was served in elegant silver bowls, where the creamy mass shimmered like frosty gold. The texture was dense yet velvety, and the flavor was deep, with a subtle hint of vanilla and cream, handcrafted from fresh milk and sugar. This ice cream was unlike any other, richer and more luxurious, a reflection of French art transformed into a cold masterpiece. The presentation was accompanied by fruits and candied violet petals, adding a touch of elegance to the dish. As guests took their first spoonful, the subtle sound of silver against porcelain filled the air, and a smile appeared on their faces, saying, "This is a taste that will be remembered forever." French ice cream became more than just a dessert, it was the final chord in the symphony of sophistication that played on the decks of the Titanic. Chocolate eclairs are delicate cakes covered with a shiny icing, as if polished to a mirror. They were served on the evening when time seemed to stand still. The air in the luxurious hall was filled with the aroma of vanilla and chocolate, the clink of glasses and muffled voices. Each éclair was perfect, a thin shell of cheese dough, stuffed with a thick cream, ready to melt at the slightest touch of a fork. The ladies in their silk dresses laughed, and the gentlemen raised their glasses of champagne, unaware that this would be the last evening of their lives. The taste of chocolate and the sweetness of the cream became a symbol of luxury and doomed grandeur. As the lights of the salon reflected softly on the icing of the éclairs, it seemed as if the darkness of the Atlantic was already peering through the windows, ready to erase this glittering world forever. Waldorf pudding is a delicate apple dessert that became a symbol of comfort and sophistication on board the Titanic. Thin slices of apples were caramelized in butter until they shimmered with amber light, and they were mixed with walnuts and a creamy custard to create a warm, velvety texture. The golden crust shimmered in the light of the chandeliers, and the aroma of vanilla and caramel filled the dining room. The chefs added a touch of brandy, transforming a simple home-cooked dish into a dessert for the aristocracy. For the guests of the Titanic, the Waldorf pudding was not just a sweet treat, but a final reminder of home, warmth, and comfort before the immortal night of the Atlantic. Neapolitan ice cream is a three-flavor combination in one dessert: chocolate, vanilla, and strawberry, separated by smooth layers like a small gastronomic rainbow. On board the Titanic, it was served in neat individual bowls adorned with fresh mint or berries. Each spoonful revealed a smooth transition of flavors, a harmony of sweetness and creamy texture. The color contrasts created a visual treat, while the aroma, a blend of cocoa, vanilla, and berry freshness, filled the table with luxury and a touch of intrigue. For passengers, Neapolitan ice cream was not just a dessert, but a symbol of sophistication, joyful celebration, and sensual pleasure, leaving an unforgettable impression of the golden age of maritime travel. Strawberry sorbet is a light and refreshing dessert made from ripe strawberries, sugar, and lemon juice, like the breath of a summer garden on a plate. On board the Titanic, it was served in crystal bowls adorned with miniature sprigs of mint or thin slices of berries. The bright pink color of the sorbet was instantly eye-catching, and each spoonful melted in the mouth, revealing a pure, fruity taste with a slight sourness. It was not just an ice cream, but a symbol of lightness, freshness, and exquisite simplicity that brought passengers moments of joy and refined pleasure. The strawberry sorbet was a small culinary marvel that transported guests to the garden plantations of Europe without leaving the first class of the famous liner. Victoria sponge cake is an exquisite classic cake named after Queen Victoria, whose love of sweets made this dessert a symbol of refined taste. On board the Titanic, it was served in layers filled with fresh raspberries and whipped cream, with a light sprinkle of powdered sugar on top, like a morning frost. The slice of cake showcased the perfect combination of sponge cake and filling, with each bite velvety, tender, and melting in the mouth, revealing a balance of sweetness and fruity freshness. The color contrast of the cream and berries created a visual delight, while the aroma of fresh raspberries, vanilla, and a hint of caramel filled the table with a sense of luxury. For the passengers, the Victoria sponge cake was not just a dessert, but a representation of home comfort, aristocratic elegance, and the gastronomic art of the golden age of maritime travel. And finally, for true connoisseurs, those who can appreciate the depth and complexity of taste, we offer a generous selection of selected cheeses. On this deck, we have curated the finest specimens, each with its own unique history and character, reflecting the craftsmanship of European cheesemakers. Here, you will find delicate, buttery cheeses with velvety rinds that melt in your mouth, as well as hard, aged varieties with rich, slightly tangy aromas, and perhaps even spicy, noble cheeses with hints of mold that add a bold touch. Each cheese is accompanied by perfect partners: fresh, fragrant bread, crispy, thin crackers, as well as juicy bunches of fresh grapes and sweet, honey-filled figs, designed to enhance and complement the richness of each cheese flavor. It was not just a dish, but a whole gastronomic journey that offered to enjoy the simple yet great gifts of nature in their finest form. The Titanic sank more than a century ago, but its spirit lives on in the memory of luxury, courage, and human dreams. The first-class menu, with its dishes crafted with skill and care, reminds us of the beauty of the era and the fact that true treasures are the art, taste, and emotions that last forever. In every bite, every dish, there is an echo of time, as if the Titanic itself is whispering its story to us.